Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 313 based on novel. So let's start. Now Wang Lin took it out and covered it in blood before it shot out as a ray of green light at the index finger. The index finger was more powerful than the pinky. The crystal sword collapsed the moment it made contact and created a powerful shockwave in the sky. However, it only caused the finger to pause for a moment and not crack. However, the moment it paused, the green light closed in and the axe swept by, landing on the finger. Under Wang Lin's control, the battle axe released a destructive aura. Popping sounds echoed as all the seals on the axe were released and its destructive aura was unleashed. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the world once more. In this battle, Wang Lin had used almost everything, all his spells and 2 pseudo-nirvana void treasures. The rumbles echoed even louder and an impact even more powerful than when the pinky finger collapsed scattered. Master Cloud Soul's body could no longer withstand it anymore and exploded. His origin soul flew out, looking miserable, confused, and bleak. The index finger at the center of the impact still didn't collapse, but there were countless cracks on it. The finger mercilessly pressed down on Wang Lin. At this moment, the sky seemed to be replaced by the index finger. Seeing the index finger closing in, Wang Lin let out a roar and the madness in his eyes became even stronger. There was a flash of light and the ancient god furnace appeared. The ancient god furnace was one of 2 ancient god treasures he possessed. It was a treasure personally refined by Tu Sai. For Wang Lin, it was something he couldn't fully control and was more profound than it looked. However, at this moment of life and death, Wang Lin was going all out. If I die, what use is a treasure? I don't believe I can't break that index finger. As Wang Lin roared, the ancient god furnace seemed to turn solid around him and collided with the index finger. There was a thunderous bang and Wang Lin felt like he was hit by a cultivation planet. He coughed out blood, his face was pale, and he was seriously injured. The ancient god furnace trembled violently as it was pushed into the ground along with Wang Lin's body. Collapse for me. Wang Lin's body suddenly stopped and he stopped himself from sinking more. The other 3 fingers also replaced the sky and descended like crazy. Wang Lin's expression was ferocious, revealing madness along with a heaven-defying will. He had lived a life of danger, and the more dangerous it became, the more unyielding he became. Both in life and death, he would be a hero. The moment Wang Lin said collapse, the ancient god furnace released a thunderous rumble. As it rotated, a heaven-shaking aura charged out and formed a storm. The ancient god furnace collapsed inside the storm and charged at the index finger. The thunderous rumble caused Wang Lin's origin soul to tremble, and his mind took some damage. The mighty index finger suddenly collapsed. It wasn't like the pinky finger that only half collapsed, but completely collapsed into rubble. Wang Lin's mind was weak, but his battle intent became even more intense. He was pushed back by the collapse and he wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He collected Master Cloud Soul's dying origin soul in the middle of this collapse. At this moment, he was the only living person in the 7-colored realm. This spell sent in from the outer realm that turned the 7-colored realm into a palm with 5 fingers had 2 fingers broken. However, even the completely shattered finger absorbed origin energy like crazy and was recovering at a rapid rate. Wang Lin didn't have time to think. If he wanted to leave the 7-colored realm, he had to risk it all. The remaining 3 fingers continued to close in, and the thunderous rumbles echoed in his ears. The fingers bent as if they were the heavens that would destroy all life and charged Wang Lin. Wang Lin was breathing heavily. He had used all his spells and treasures. The star formed by his Tao rotated rapidly and his body was surrounded in battle intent as the 3 fingers closed in. The strongest thumb was a bit slower, but the middle and ring fingers arrived almost at the same time. Wang Lin couldn't face 2 fingers at the same time. He threw the trident he had been holding with a roar, and it flew at the ring finger. With the trident blocking the ring finger for a moment, Wang Lin charged at the middle finger. His figure moved like a meteor and the star of law between his eyebrows rapidly rotated. Blue flames suddenly surrounded his body and more blue flames appeared at the roots of his white hair. It soon swept across his hair until the tip. If someone looked from a distance, they would clearly see that the giant palm was holding a sea of fire. At the center of the fire was an upright figure. It was the unyielding Wang Lin. The moment this fire began to burn, endless thunderbolts rushed out like silver snakes. The thunder moved within the fire and also between the fingers, causing crackling sounds. More and more thunder appeared and completely surrounded the palm. It created a beautiful scene. In this scene, a giant palm was holding a blue fire while being surrounded by a net of thunder. This would be an unforgettable scene for anyone who saw it. Inside the blue flames, the star of law between Wang Lin's eyebrows flashed violently. The sea of fire around him shot out toward the middle finger. It was very fast and instantly collided with the middle finger. The moment they collided, the blue flames around Wang Lin gathered like crazy in his hand and then shot out at the middle finger. It was as if Wang Lin had launched a monstrous fire at the middle finger and began a life and death battle. Either the finger collapsed, or Wang Lin would die. There was no retreat. He had to give it his all. The blue flames charged at the middle finger like crazy. Wang Lin's face was pale and blood came out of the corner of his mouth. He was personally confronting the middle finger, and he felt the power inside it. It was enough to make his body tremble and rapidly sink. "I will not resign to this." Wang Lin's angry roar echoed across the seven-colored realm. He wouldn't resign himself to this fate. He had just devoured the Dao fruit, causing his cultivation level to increase greatly, and saving himself tens of thousands of years to step into the Nirvana Shatterer stage. Just as he was about to leave the seven-colored realm, he was faced with a life-and-death crisis. He wouldn't resign to this. As he roared, the monstrous thunder gathered like crazy and shot at the middle finger along with the blue flames. The thunderous rumbles now were even more intense than before, and large amounts of cracks appeared in the sky. These cracks were immediately ripped open and expanded the moment they appeared. Although these rumbles were loud, they couldn't cover up Wang Lin's unyielding word. "I won't resign myself to this." The star made of law between Wang Lin's eyebrows rotated even faster. As the fire and thunder bombarded the finger, the power sealed by Wang Lin exploded forth. This power wasn't extremely strong, but after fusing with fire, thunder, and the battle domain, it formed a new law. It was a law that belonged only to Wang Lin. The moment this law exploded, the space around Wang Lin twisted as if time had overlapped and couldn't mix with the world. This area of distortion became even larger until it enveloped the entire middle finger. Wang Lin let out a roar of madness, and as the distortion from this law appeared, his body stopped sinking. Not only did it not continue to sink, but as Wang Lin's veins swelled, he raised the middle finger and charged into the sky. The twisted ripples surrounded the middle finger. The power of law fused with fire and thunder along with Wang Lin's charge broke the finger. The moment it collapsed, Wang Lin was thrown out and he fell on the ground. He fell on the palm, and his own blood dyed his body. The star made of law between his eyebrows gradually dimmed and hid itself. He was seriously injured, but the moment he landed, Wang Lin kicked off again toward the ring finger. The trident was stabbed into the ring finger, giving Wang Lin a chance, but if he gave up now, all would be for naught. There was only one previous occasion where Wang Lin was this desperate. The first time was his battle against the All-Seer in the Demon Spirit Land. This was his second time in his almost 2,000 years of cultivation. A tragic aura came from Wang Lin's body. His face was without blood, and while he was seriously injured, his battle intent didn't weaken. Instead, it seemed even more fierce. Some people were born for battle, born for slaughter, born to defy the heavens. Wang Lin was this kind of person. After he fused with Zhong Xingye's battle domain, Wang Lin became even more like this. "Life is precious and should be cherished, but I'm not afraid of death. However, I must die with dignity and self-worth." Wang Lin let out an earth-shattering laugh that would even frighten Ghost. Even this mysterious existence that had remained unfazed for countless years was slightly moved. "If you can survive the power of the palm, I won't kill you." A weary voice echoed across the world. "Are you the sovereign of the outer realm?" Wang Lin flew into the air and charged at the ring finger. This old man is from the high ancient Blue Silk clan, Blue Dream Dao Master. After their talk ended, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he moved even faster. The 6 ancient god stars between his eyebrows rotated rapidly and ancient god energy filled his body. His body immediately grew into an ancient god thousands of feet tall. Wang Lin let out a roar at the sky and waved his huge first. As the ring finger closed in, he grabbed the trident and swept at the ring finger. Wang Lin's body trembled violently. Even with his ancient god body, he felt like his body was going to collapse. He borrowed this force and pulled out the trident. The ring finger trembled from Wang Lin's kick. However, it didn't stop charging at Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed and Wang Lin had a ferocious expression. He had already used his spells, treasures, and lore, but he was still inside the palm. It seemed like no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't escape Blue Dream Dao Master's palm. However, this was not enough to make him yield. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with madness. As the ring finger descended, Wang Lin charged up and attacked it like crazy. Ancient god power was contained within in each one of his attacks. Even a cultivation planet would have collapsed from this bombardment, but the ring finger continued to descend. It seemed to want to crush Wang Lin to death. The thunderous rumbles echoed non-stop and Wang Lin let out a roar. He was an ancient god, but under this finger, he felt an unprecedented setback. No matter how much he attacked, he couldn't stop the ring finger from descending. Even the most powerful finger, the thumb, was slowly descending. What made Wang Lin feel even more bitter was that the 3 broken fingers were absorbing origin energy like crazy and quickly recovering. It seemed like it wouldn't take long for the 3 fingers he had poured all his effort into breaking to reappear. Could this 7-colored realm be my grave? I refused to give in. Wang Lin's eyes were red like a ghost's as he continued to bombard the finger. He clenched his teeth and let out a roar. The blurry 6th star among the 6 rotating stars between his eyebrows gave off a crazy amount of ancient god energy. This energy was so heaven-shaking that even the ring finger trembled slightly. Star, shatter. After Wang Lin had become an ancient god, he had encountered countless dangers, but this was the first time he had chosen to shatter a star. As he roared, the 6th star between his eyebrows suddenly collapsed. The power of the shattered star turned into a storm and was absorbed by Wang Lin like crazy. The ancient god energy surged through his body, causing his body to expand. Soon, a 20,000-foot tall giant appeared inside the palm. Borrowing the shattered star, Wang Lin's ancient god body reached the level of a 7-star royal ancient god. Wang Lin let out a roar as he rushed forward. Even the earth trembled. A crazy aura surrounded Wang Lin as he charged at the ring finger. He was already prepared to shatter 5 stars in a row. Today's battle would be the most difficult battle in his life. In this battle, his body would collapse, his origin soul would dissipate, and his Tao would completely scatter. His nearly 2,000 years of cultivator would disappear. There would be thousands of people in the cultivation world named Wang Lin, but none of them would be him. Or he would break the 5 fingers and successfully survive the power of their attack. Then he could walk out of the 7-colored realm that almost became his grave. The 7-colored realm would be the place where Wang Lin either succeeded or died. With this kind of madness and a lifetime of unwillingness, Wang Lin seemed to be burning himself. He borrowed the power of the shattered star to become a 7-star royal ancient god and charged at the finger. I can't die, I'm not willing to die. I still haven't revived WNR. I still haven't let Pinger be reborn. I still haven't been filial to my dead parents. I still haven't finished my struggle against fate. There are still a lot of promises I haven't completed, so I can't die. Wang Lin closed in on the ring finger and threw a punch carrying all his unwillingness. This was a punch of a 7-star royal ancient god, a punch obtained by shattering his 6th star, and a punch filled with Wang Lin's unwillingness from almost 2,000 years of cultivation. When this punch flew out, the world changed colors and a thunderous rumble echoed. The 3 collapsed fingers that were reforming trembled and even the palm paused for a moment. It was as if the entire world had stopped at this moment. Wang Lin's fist instantly landed on the ring finger. The power of the shattered star exchanged for this blow entered the ring finger. Wang Lin's body immediately shrank from tens of thousands of feet to only thousands of feet tall. However, while he shrank, he sent out a blow equal to an all-out attack of a 7-star royal ancient god. Collapse for me. Wang Lin's roar was louder than the collapse of the ring finger. At this instant, the ring finger trembled violently and countless cracks appeared where Wang Lin's punch landed. The finger suddenly collapsed. Wang Lin's body was completely weak and blood was coming out of the corner of his mouth. He let out a miserable smile and was pushed back by the collapse of the finger. At this moment, the most powerful finger, the thumb, which was comparable to the previous 4 fingers combined, arrive. If a person forms a fist, the pinky and index fingers close first, followed by the middle finger and ring finger. The last one is the thumb, and the power of the thumb is extremely strong. When it presses down, it can cause whatever is inside the center of the palm to completely shatter. Wang Lin knew that even if he shattered all his remaining stars, he wouldn't be able to escape this most powerful blow. However, he refused to just sit there and be crushed. I'm a hero in both life and death. Cultivators like us never shrink from a fight. I, Wang Lin, have cultivated for nearly 2,000 years. If I was still immortal, I would have already been turned to dirt. So what if I die? What is there to be afraid of? Wang Lin let out a pitiful smile as his hearty voice echoed. He charged directly at the thumb. Father, mother, if there is another life, Taiju will not cultivate. I'll smile with you both for a century. Sichu, you and I will never be able to meet again. Senior brother Qing Shui, junior brother was unable to save you. I'm coming to accompany you. Mu Bingmai, our grudge is over. Wang Ping, our family can now reunite. Also, Li Qianmai. You love me, but my heart is dead. However, now that I'm about to die, so what if I take you with me? Wang Lin smiled as he waved his left hand and his storage space appeared before him. The blue bracelet flew out. This bracelet gave off a bright blue light like a star and released an inexplicable aura. The moment it appeared, it automatically flew to Wang Lin's left wrist. The blue light gave off a gentle glow that surrounded Wang Lin's body. It still seemed to contain a trace of warmth from 100 years ago, a body heat and warmth that would always exist. Being surrounded by the blue light, Wang Lin instantly closed in on the thumb. However, the moment the bracelet appeared and flashed as it flew to Wang Lin's left wrist, a voice filled with incredible shock echoed across the world. This is... The ancient voice almost trembled, revealing an indescribable amount of excitement. The thumb descending quickly rose up, causing Wang Lin to rush out past it and into the horizon. This sudden scene startled Wang Lin, but he didn't hesitate. As he flew out, both his hands formed a seal. Following the memories he obtained from Master Ashen Pine, he opened a crack to return to the Cloud Sea. His body moved like lightning toward the crack. The moment before he disappeared, the palm formed by the 7-colored realm didn't chase but slowly put itself down. Treat her well. The moment Wang Lin went through the crack, the tired, ancient voice appeared in his mind. The voice seemed even more tired and contained a hint of complicated feelings. After Wang Lin left, the palm formed by the 7-colored realm gradually collapsed as if the spell used to form it was slowly leaving. The ancient voice slowly dissipated. At this moment, deep within the ancient star system, there was a family named the Blue Silk Clan. This clan occupied a boundless star domain. In this star domain, there was an ordinary-looking planet with a mountain shrouded in blue light. The local mortals called it the Blue Mountain. There was a simple cottage at the top of the mountain that gently swayed in the mountain breeze. The door of the cottage was pushed open and a tired-looking middle-aged man walked out. He looked up at the sky and his vision blurred as if tears were coming out. His hair was blue. He looked at the sky and was filled with melancholy. If any resident of the ancient star system saw this, they would be shocked. One of the 5 masters of the ancient star system, the Blue Dream Dao Master, could have a moment where he couldn't control his emotions. The Blue Dream Dao Master was a legend in the ancient star system. The Blue Silk Clan was a small family, but due to this person, who swept across the ancient star system, the Blue Silk Clan became a giant clan no one dared to provoke. Meng our daughter has been reborn. She had your bracelet before she entered the reincarnation cycle, and it has the blessing of your Cloud Dream Clan that she inherited from you. If she hadn't personally given it away, even if someone else received the bracelet, her blessing wouldn't have appeared, the man murmured to himself, filled with reminiscence. After a long time, ripples appeared and distorted. An old man in white appeared. The moment he appeared, he immediately became very respectful. Tao Master, teacher. Just as the old man began to speak, the middle-aged man didn't even look at the old man and interrupted him with one word. Scram. The old man's mind trembled and he didn't dare to speak anymore. Although he was a disciple of the sovereign, against one of the 5 masters of the ancient star system, he wouldn't dare to be presumptuous. He immediately returned back into the ripples and disappeared without a trace. If that child had nothing to do with you, it would have been fine, but how can I hurt someone who will bring our daughter happiness? So what if that child has the heaven-defying bead? I obtained my cultivation by myself and didn't rely on foreign objects. What does the sovereign's greed have to do with me? Also, the heaven-defying bead used to belong to the Lord of the Sealed Realm. If I'm unable to open the seal, it might not necessarily be a blessing, but a catastrophe. The Lord of the Sealed Realm was a prime example. As for the seal, it is difficult. It was the Lord of the Sealed Realm that opened the 9 7-colored realms, but then they were taken over by my people. I only had the power of that one palm, and after that I had to retreat. Although the sovereign has been in closed-door cultivation for tens of thousands of years, his schemes run too deep. When he made me attack, I fear there might have been another purpose. When the sovereign entered the sealed realm back then, he escaped with serious injuries. The warning that spread across the entire ancient star system makes one feel awe whenever one thinks about it. The place where the 7-colored flowers are planted has been sealed by the sovereign. Aside from the caretaker, no one else can enter it with their real body. He said it was to prevent the Tao intent from being disturbed and for the growth of the flowers to remain uninterrupted, but what is the real reason? Also, that child is not simple. His power is heaven-shaking and he possesses the body of a royal ancient god. His character is similar to mine. With his present power he was unexpectedly able to break 4 of my fingers. Among all the juniors, even in the ancient star system, he would be considered the strongest. If he has enough time, he can definitely reach the void realms. He also has Yu-Er's blessing and support. I wronged Yu-Er in her last life, and in this life I won't let anyone hurt her. I'll support the person she supports. Not even the sovereign can stop me. The man looked up at the sky with tears streaming down his face. The exhaustion he felt in his life came from losing his wife and the regret from the death of his daughter. After a century of silence in the Cloud Sea, the great competition between all the branch sects of the rank 8 sects was about to begin. The great competition of the branch sects of the rank 8 sects that happened every 1,000 years was a festive event in the Cloud Sea. It wasn't just one rank 8 sect, all the rank 8 sects did this at once. The branch sects would arrive at the main sect and go through a new round of examinations. The winning sect would receive rewards and the attention of the main sect. The outstanding disciples would remain at the main sect and be groomed by the main sect. As for the losers, their status will be lowered again for the next 1,000 years until they were disbanded by the main sect. The remaining disciples would be scattered among the remaining branch sects. The origin sect had continued to fall over the countless years. This was the last opportunity, and if they remained the same, the origin sect would be dissolved by the main sect. The disciples, including Lu Yanfei and others, would be sent to the other branch sects. From then on, the origin sect would no longer exist. Then the main sect would pick disciples and form a new sect in order to ensure the amount of branch sects remained the same. The origin sect couldn't accept this, but they didn't dare to refuse. If they did, they would be wiped out. After all, the origin sect was merely a branch sect. This brutal method was used to ensure that the rank 8 sects would continue to rise in strength, until one day, all their branch sects would grow to be very powerful and they were granted the status of a rank 9 sect by the God sect. Rumor had it that the Heaven-Breaking sect and Ghost sect both grew like this. There was a total of 5 sects in the rank 8 region. They were the Everlasting sect, the Shadow Wind sect, the Rainbow Road sect, the Answer the Heavens sect, and the Silent Soul sect. The Origin sect and the Purple Tao sect belonged to the rank 8 Everlasting sect. This holy festival was not a chaotic, all-out battle. All the sects were divided into their regions, and the strongest sects of the rank 4 to 7 regions were selected. Of course, they could also challenge sects above them in rank, like 1000 years ago when the Purple Dao sect challenged a rank 6 sect. Although they failed, there was glory in their defeat, as it caught the attention of the rank 8 Everlasting sect. Every single rank 8 sect's grand competition would have a member of a rank 9 sect attending. If there were any disciples they liked, they would directly recruit them. Although the rank 8 sects felt helpless, they couldn't refuse. What was fortunate and sad was that very few people caught the eye of the rank 9 sects. In the past 100,000 years, only 3 people had caught their attention. After each rank 8 sect's competition was over, they would choose 3 of the strongest disciple and began a real battle with the other rank 8 sects. This battle was very important. Although the rank 8 sects themselves couldn't personally join and the rank 9 sect oversaw it, this fight could show a portion of the rank 8 sect's true strength. A portion of this strength was a display to the rank 9 sect. If the final victor among the rank 8 sects could keep winning for 10,000 years, they would gain a portion of the qualifications needed to enter the rank 9 region. Every single rank 8 sect began preparing for such an important competition very early. The 3 people chosen for this important battle had already been set. Although they weren't brought back to the main sect, they were given the same treatment as the core disciples, and people of the main sect personally went out to teach them. After the heaven-breaking sect left the rank 8 region, a total of 17 competitions had been carried out, with victories and defeats spread across the sects. However, 10,000 years ago, with the rise of the Silent Soul sect, they had won 9 times in a row. This was now the 18th competition since the heaven-breaking sect left. If the Silent Soul sect won again, it would only be a matter of time before they become a rank 9 sect. The Cloud Sea Holy competition that occurred every 1,000 years was lively and would last several months. Large amounts of cities and trading grounds would be set up in the rank 8 region. There would often be con artists that would take this opportunity to profit. Not every con artist could move as if they were fish in water during this competition, but there was one person who had succeeded many times. Each time came, he gained great benefits. He appeared every 1,000 years and cheated countless people. Each time he appeared, he would have a different name. The sects that were cheated would care about face and would never say it out loud. Even if they secretly investigated, they would find nothing. Also, this person would carefully select the sects he would cheat. He chose sects that were like the Origin sect, ones that were about to disbanded and had no hope of winning. These kinds of sects would all be disbanded, so how could they cause any trouble for the con artist? Even if they told someone and someone believed them, in the end they would just get laughed at, so might as well not say it. The Big Dipper sect was a weak rank 5 region, and their main sect was the rank 8 Answer the Heavens sect. Their state was similar to that of the Origin sect, always ending up in last place. If they failed again, it would be difficult for them to escape the fate of being disbanded. The competition will happen in 1 month and we will be transported to the rank 8 region. Aside from my Big Dipper sect, the main sect has 3 more branches here. My Big Dipper sect places last every time. This time, alas. There were 3 elders sitting in the hall of the Big Dipper sect. At this moment, they were frowning and their faces revealed helplessness and confusion along with a trace of unwillingness. Once their sect was disbanded, although they would be moved to another branch sect, their status would plummet. They would even be ridiculed for their whole lives without any attention put on them. Shame would accompany them for the rest of their lives. One of the old men bitterly said, "The remaining 3 sects are all far more powerful than our Big Dipper sect. We have no hope at all. Unless a miracle occurs. Otherwise, it will be difficult." Another old man let out a sigh and looked around nostalgically. He knew that once he left, he would likely never return. It would be difficult for the Big Dipper sect to escape the fate of being disbanded. The 3 of them were silently pondering when an oppressive aura filled the room. At this moment, a sharp howl appeared between the heavens and earth. This roar immediately caused the 3 of them to raise their heads. A piece of jade broke through the protective barrier of the continent and through the roof of the building. It descended from above and arrived right in the middle of the 3 of them. An extremely powerful aura suddenly spread out from the jade and filled the hall. It spread across the entire Big Dipper sect, making the entire sect show signs of trembling. Before this aura, the three old men's expressions changed greatly. They stood up one by one as they stared at the jade, their minds trembling. Fear arose in their hearts as this powerful aura made them feel the power of a Nirvana Shatterer spell. At the same time, an arrogant voice came from the jade and echoed inside the hall. Zhu Yunming, born on the Heavenly Sea continent. You began to cultivate at the age of 7 when you entered the Big Dipper sect. 200 years to reach the core formation stage and more than 600 years to reach the nascent soul stage. Now you have cultivated for thousands of years to reach the early stage of Nirvana Scryer and are the sect master of the Big Dipper sect. Luo Tsongang, born on the Heavenly Sea continent. Your father is Luo Haitao. You used a large amount of pills to increase your cultivation level by force and stopped at the early stage of Nirvana Scryer. Ju Chen, you were not born on the Heavenly Sea continent, but on the continent of Ju Wu. You joined the Big Dipper sect midway. Now you have been stuck at the corporeal yang stage for 735 years. Did this old man speak a single lie? Everything Senior said was correct. Senior is. The three were extremely shocked. Everything this voice had said was detailed, and some of the matters were even things they had forgotten about, but the person knew very clearly. Also, the Nirvana Shatterer aura shocked them and almost made them lose their wits. This old man's name is Liu Jinbiao. Dao name, Master Golden Tiger. Their expressions became serious. Although they had never heard this name, just a jade from him contained the aura of a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. This person also knew everything about them, which made them respect him even more. Zhu Yunming took a deep breath as he suppressed the shock in his mind and asked, Senior came here. A great disaster is upon you, and you don't even know it. 3 days ago, someone came to me with the intention to pay 60,000 origin crystals for me to take the lives of you three. After this, their expressions changed greatly. However, I have no quarrel with your Big Dipper sect. Although I need the origin crystals for alchemy, I feel reluctant to do such a thing. However, if there is no choice, then I can only take your lives. The voice gradually became gloomy and fused with the Nirvana Shatterer aura from the jade. This caused the three of them to immediately turn pale. Senior. Of course, this is not my will. If the three of you can take out 60,000 origin crystals or something equivalent, then not only will I not kill the three of you, I'll also help you eliminate the danger of your Big Dipper sect being dissolved. 60,000 origin crystals. The three of them were shaking and filled with panic. Although they had their doubts, the Nirvana Shatterer aura and the details about their personal lives made that doubt insignificant. We don't have that many origin crystals. This old man's time is limited. I will only give you 15 minutes to consider. If you refuse, then this old man will have to kill. If you don't have the origin crystals, you can give me something of equal value. As Liu Jinbiao was showing off his spells, there was a wild continent deep within the rank 5 region. There was a loud bang within it, as if a powerful impact had come from underground. Countless cracks appeared and a white-haired figure charged out from the bottom. Wang Lin fell. His face was pale and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. However, his divine sense immediately spread out and locked onto the crack under the wild continent that led to the 7-colored realm. This crack was no longer 7-colored. As Wang Lin's divine sense observed the crack, it quickly collapsed and disappeared. Seeing this, Wang Lin was filled with uncertainty before his gaze fell on the jade bracelet. The bracelet no longer gave off a blue glow. It was now emerald green again. After a long time, Wang Lin raised his head as he looked at the Cloud Sea Star system and muttered, "I'm back." This video will end here.